Welcome to Reset Today with Stephanie J. You've just tuned into the show that allows you to reset in any area of your life. So come on and join me. Hit that reset bell and get ready to start fresh. Well, that's my bell. Have you rang your bell in this new year as of yet? If not, why don't you go ahead and make a decision to reset? That's right where you are, you can reset. I hope you can hear it in my voice. I am excited. Second day into the new year, and I am just glorifying God and giving him praise for all of his goodness and his kindness, his tender mercies toward us. Hope you're having a good day, and I have a few things that I'm going to do in this episode. Shake it up just a little bit in this new year. The instrumental that I'm playing is one of my favorites from my son, Rashawn. He entitled this one, Limbo. Interesting name, but I don't know about you. I don't want to be stuck in limbo. Not anymore. Not at any time. It's not really a fun place to be, but this is a really fun song. I always love the way he changes up and he does so much with the instruments in his instrumentals. And I always tell you where you can find his music on SoundCloud under SMNS, and that is in all capital letters. And so I'm going to tell you very quickly where you can pick up my shows: A Brand New Day with Stephanie J, Anchor, Spreaker, Spotify, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Overcast, Castbox, Google, Apple, Geo7, iHeartRadio, and Pandora. Reset Today with Stephanie J, Spreaker, Spotify, Deezer, Geo7, Podchaser, Podcast Addict, Apple, Google, SoundCloud, Facebook, YouTube, and iHeartRadio. Thank you to everyone who makes this possible. And again, to all of you listeners, I so appreciate you. So appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to listen as well. I hope you appreciate the time that I take out of my schedule to talk to you. See, it's a two-way street. And so I am still having a lot of fun with this, but even more, I am being engaged in different ways. Yesterday, in the evening, I decided to skim through some of my older podcasts because I haven't heard them in quite some time. And a lot of times I don't even remember a lot of what was said on the episodes, but I just listened a little bit at the beginning, somewhere in the middle, somewhere in the end, just to get an idea of what I was doing. And I came across several episodes that I was reading, sharing information about herbs and things of that nature. And then I heard somewhere I was playing music or playing some of my son's instrumentals. I was kind of shaking things up. And, as of late, some of the episodes, I played a few clips from other people's like sermons, and I even played a clip of Steve Harvey's comedy when he did a megafest for Bishop T.D. Jakes. And so I've been doing a little stuff here and there, and I was just thinking there are some things that I would like to kind of get back to, and then some things that I would like to add. I was listening to an episode with my son Christian, And he had mentioned to me earlier today that he would like to join in on a podcast. So he's a little busy right now, but he'll probably join me for the next one. I was in the Word this morning. Oh, it was so good. I was reading in the book of Isaiah, and I decided to read it in the Message translation of the Bible. As I said, I picked up a few copies a few weeks ago at this old, like vintage bookstore. And I hadn't, read any of the Old Testament in the Message. I just been kind of reading through some of the New Testament. And I started reading Isaiah, and this book is more like a novel style than it is an actual Bible. And so I just began reading it, after we prayed and everything. And I just got engulfed in this book. I read from 1 up to 22, which is a third of the book. And then I stopped there because I felt like I wanted to go ahead and podcast, while I'm filled up, because there is so much just overflowing in me. And then I have some things to do this afternoon. And there were just some things that I wanted to share. And while I was midway through the book, a song just kept coming to me. And it is a song from my past. Many of you are probably familiar with this. I'm thinking almost everybody knows about the Hawkins family. As my husband would say, they were a big business, especially back in the early years, the 70s, the 80s, the choir years. And my father certainly had a lot of their albums. And so I grew up listening to them on a regular, and then singing on all of the choirs. Every choir wanted to sing something of Walter Hawkins or Edwin Hawkins. And so that was my, early years experience. But then I was thinking while I was sitting there, I put on What Is This? That is one of my favorites from them. And I had a memory from my cousin Terrence, and I spoke to him a little while ago. We've recently reconnected as well a few months ago, and we've been texting and talking periodically. And I had asked him, like when we first started talking, did he remember the song? And he said, "Oh girl, I still listen to that song pretty much every day." And I shared a memory with him that he hadn't thought about in many years. This is like, he's older than I am by a few years. And so, this is like my early teen years, and I'm going to share that memory. But what I decided to do, I was thinking, I said, I'm in the mood to sing. I just feel like singing all of a sudden. COVID and everything shut down a lot of stuff. Through the last few years, I'll say that my husband and I have been on hiatus with our music. I mean, we went strong for many, many years, as we started back in 2008. By 2009, we put out a few CD projects, and a few years after that, I began posting stuff on YouTube and then SoundCloud, and then I think last year or almost 2 years ago, our friend put his SoundCloud up, and then my husband pestered him about putting mine up. So I actually have 2. And we continue to record and produce in-house. A lot of songs that we have aren't even out there. We have them on CDs. He listens to them quite often. I hear them once in a while, but we have been talking, I say last year, the year before, we have been talking about putting together a Christian, like a love song CD, and we thought about doing something like around Valentine's Day, and we haven't quite gotten there. We had started working on some songs, and it was just something that was up in the air that we wanted to do. And because we're not going out, anymore singing, we were singing in a church that we were a part of, and a church that I was working at, and family events, his family reunion, and a few funerals, and I had done some things. And so we've been kind of still, I still sing a lot, as my son says, but it's like in my car, in the store aisles, not loud, just kind of singing the music, humming, and I sing in my kitchen, and in my bedroom, in my closet. Sometimes we would put music on, and we'd be downstairs singing and harmonizing, and pulling our son in. And it's fun when you sing. You just sing. And so I was thinking, to myself, and I said to myself, and myself said, huh? And so I answered myself. I said, I have a pot. Oh, and I forgot I sing on the prayer line. I just sang on there the other day on the Igniters. I'm often asked when I do call in now, do you have a song for us? And I sang It Is Well With My Soul. Because it is. I'm so glad. I'm so grateful that we are alive and well in this new year. And despite it all, I can stand here with assurance and say, whatever my lot, thou hast caused me to say it is well within my soul. So that song was just springing up in me at that time. But then What Is This just kind of crept up on me this morning, and I played it like 3 times. I was like, I just got to hear this song before I get back to this word. And I'm telling you, it put such a joy. Something just started bubbling up on the inside of me. So I said, I'm going to have to play this. I'm just going to have to. I'm going to have to play this on my show today. I'm going to have to do it. And then the thing about Stephanie J, see, I've been real laid back. I have sang a few times on my podcast, some like an earlier 1 or 2. I remember I did I Won't Complain. That's a song that I sang many times in the midst of services when I've been called on. That's my testimony as well. And yeah, I was like, I'm gonna have to act like I'm in a choir this morning, y'all. I'm gonna have to act like, I'm singing in the background. We're gonna let Pastor Walter do his thing. Man, that man can squall like nobody I've ever heard. It's such a powerful song, and the lyrics are so powerful, and the choir, the voices just blend so beautifully. It's like you cannot help but sing along. Just got to sing along. So I titled this Coming Out. That's what I'm going to title it. So like Diana Ross, Stephanie J is coming out today. Y'all gonna have to excuse me because there's no way I can play this beautiful song, this blast from my past, and not sing. And, every now and then I got to step out, in the lead, in the front and all that. You're just going to have to excuse me. I'm just going to have to do it. And I'm going to share the story that I was talking about.